Hey, St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. I've got my green on in this shirt, and I always say I have green eyes, so I don't have to wear green. But I'm going to make a corned beef brisket and show you how easy it is so you can have it on Wednesday on St. Patrick's Day. What we've got is I've got this is 2.5 pounds. You can really 3 to 5 is the best. What I want to do, I like it to be crispy. We're going to do it in the crock pot, and you cook it slow 8 to 9 hours. But I like the outside to be crispy, so I'm going to crisp it up before I put it in by putting it on the frying pan for a while. So I'm getting the oven on, the stove top, and I'm going to get a little grease going on it. Now, you don't really want to put too much salt on this because the spices and stuff are, and this vinegar is salty. And I'm going to put a little pepper. I found this orange pepper that I wanted to try. Really just regular coarse black pepper is good in what it calls for. I've been using this because I like it. So I'm going to put this in. All I'm trying to do is get brown edges. I should have let it get hotter before I put it in. I'm going to add salt and pepper to both sides of it. And we're just trying, all I'm doing is I'm going to leave it in there and have it on high. I just want to crisp up the edges. And then we'll put it in the crock pot. I've got the crock pot turned on to low for 8. I've got it 8 hours. 8 to 10 hours is good. And then while we're waiting on that, what we'll do is the seasonings that we're going to put on it is 2 tablespoons of sugar, and you can use white sugar or brown sugar. I'm choosing brown. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Tyrone's competing with me today. He's got a new place to sit with me in the kitchen now, and he loves all the activity. And then when you buy corned beef, it comes with the little packets. If it doesn't, it's ground mustard and that type of. I'll have to and coriander. You Google the seasonings to use if you miss the packet, but the corned beef always comes with these little packets, or every time I've ever bought it. Let me see what it looks like in there. And we're going to add black pepper to it. And it's about half a tablespoon or half a teaspoon. You want good seasoning in it. And then I'm going to crush. I've got two garlic pods that I'm going to crush and mince real quick to add to it. It can be kind of big pieces, it doesn't really matter. We're going to rub this all on top of the meat and then put it in there. How do y'all like to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? It's always fun to kind of go out, but it's also fun to just stay at home and miss the crowds too. But getting some of that Guinness beer, dark beer is my favorite. It's always nice to have some of that. Okay, we're going to put this in here. And honestly, I didn't even think about it. I should have planned a little better, but a little dark beer in this would have been really good to add to it. Let me stir this up. Okay, we're going to just add this to the meat when it's ready. Probably turned it a little too soon. We want a little bit. I'm going to let it get a little crispier on the other side and then turn it. But see how it has that crisp right there? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to keep that on longer for a good crisp. Probably about 5 minutes on each side. But you're just looking for a good crispy edges. So I do have some dark beer in my fridge. So I'm going to try this. It's not usually one of the recipes in the recipes, but since dark beer goes with St. Patty's Day and all that type of stuff, I'm going to add a little bit in place of the water whenever I put it in the crock pot. So that's the plan. Okay, I've got it crispy edged a little bit. I'm gonna take it out. I'm turning the oven off, but I want all the crispy stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the beer here to put in and scrape off the fat to add to the sauce. Let that sizzle it in and scrape it off. Just adds to the flavor. Add a little bit more there. Oops. Okay, we're just gonna let that cook that out a little bit. I'm just going to turn it on low while I prepare this. Well, you need a bay leaf. If you don't have bay leaf, you can omit it. It just helps enhance the flavor. I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. This meat, I've got the seasoning here, and we're going to rub it all on here on the meat. And I'm going to stick that side down, because actually that side needs to be up because it's the fatty side. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it all in here. I'm going to put those chunks of garlic inside the meat there. Don't want to miss any of the flavors, especially of the vinegar, because that's where you get your salty. Get all those flavors in there. And then we're going to add it to, I'm going to do this side. Get all that mixed in. Okay. Now let me wash my hands. We're going to go ahead and dump this beer in it. The beer in the crispies. There wasn't that many crispies, but it's flavor. Ooh, it smells good. Okay, and then we need a cup of water. Basically, corned beef, you're boiling it. So, but to keep the crispiness, I don't want to fully cover it in water. I've got a cup of water here, but what I'm filling it to is about a quarter of the meat. Not half, but about a quarter of the meat to keep, because that'll keep it hot enough and keep it steaming, because that's what you want, because that gives you the tender flavor. That looks about like a quarter to me. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little more beer to it, just because. And that's all there is to it. You cook it for 8 to 9 hours. And that's it. See you then. So I'm getting ready to do a side to go with the corned beef. I've kind of already started it. My cameraman was all into the Big 12 Tech and OSU game, or Texas and OSU game. And so he missed part of what I was doing. But I've cubed 2 red potatoes up, and I put a little bit of oil, vegetable oil, maybe 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon, not very much. And the cabbage isn't supposed to be in there. Just when I put it in with my hands, some of it got in there. I'm frying this. Oh, and I put about half a cup, a fourth of a cup of the juice that my corn beef cooked in. in here. And so I'm kind of frying this up a little bit, and then I'm going to add, I've cut up, this is about half a head of cabbage, because there's only 2 of us. Half a head of cabbage, about 3 or 4 slices of yellow onion, and some cilantro. After this fries up a little bit, I'm going to put that in with this and make stir fry cabbage and potatoes to go with our corned beef. Sounds like a perfect Patrick's Day meal to me. Okay, so my goal is just to get a little crispy edge on the potatoes before I put the other stuff in. They're going to be soft fries, but just with a little crisp on them. And I think they're good enough that I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the vegetables to stir fry it together, because cabbage doesn't take very long, and it'll break up as we cook it. And another thing you can add to this, if you like spice, you can add jalapenos to it. I've put a little cilantro in it. If you don't like cilantro, leave it out. I love cilantro, especially in cabbage. So we're going to let this little stir fry a little bit, and then I'm going to add a little more of that juice to it, because it's all dried out, but that juice will give it some flavor. I've added, cabbage absorbs seasonings very quickly. I've added some salt and pepper and garlic and onion salt to it, and we're just going to let it fry up a little bit. I'm going to remove the corned beef, and it was a 2.5 pound. I cooked it on low for 8 hours, on the 8-hour thing on my crock pot. Really cooked in about 5.5 hours. It might even be a little overcooked. But what I'm going to do is take it out. I want to get it in a little brown edges. So I'm going to put it into a pan and put it in the oven long enough for it just to get a little crispy on the edges. But actually, it doesn't look like I need to do that. Never mind. It's got a little crisp on the outside, so I don't need to do that. If you don't have that, then just put it in the broiler for about 5 minutes. But I don't need to do that now. We're just going to take it out and let it sit, and then it might be a little overcooked. It'll still be very good. I'm going to pour some of this juice on it because the juice is so good. And then I'm going to get this again. Give this a little white. I'm going to add a little bit more of this juice to it just because there's no liquid in the bottom of that. I just want it to add a little bit, and it gives it flavor, and it keep it from drying out too much. You can hear. I don't want to do too much because I do want it to stir fry. All I'm looking for is the cabbage. I like mine crunchy, so I'm waiting for it to get a little soft, but I will take it out when it's still crunchy. You can do it to your own taste. As soon as you stir it around, the potatoes get mixed in. It's cooked soft. And I'm going to go ahead and take it out. Nothing like corned beef and cabbage to say Happy St. Patrick's Day. Get your green on. Looks like I got too small of a bowl. I'm just going to, I'll add more to it later. Well, it looks like I've got more than enough for 2 people. So, there's our corned beef and cabbage. I hope y'all enjoyed this meal. It's an easy, quick meal. I mean, being that St. Patrick's Day is on a weekday, you can put that in the crock pot and leave for work. Come home and have corned beef. Even if you're going out, you have your food and then you go out and have your green beer. Happy St. Patty's Day to you. I hope you enjoyed this meal. Be sure and like my channel and like this meal if you like it, and let me know what else you'd like to see me cook. Thanks for watching. Bye.